Hello folks and welcome back. We're at the lightweight Kei Cup, we're in Tokyo. We're going to drive the Copen around the circuit today and how to complete this race with one of the Kei cars and show you the setup and show you how to win it. We'll see you there. Regulations for today's race. We're using the Tokyo Expressway South clockwise course. We'll start 16th out of 20 on the grid, so you've got plenty to go at. We've got 3 laps to do it in, so it's a bit of a push. Tyres that are usable are the Comfort Softs, Kei car only, so you've only got a choice of 4 cars, but a couple of variations. If you want to, you can use an engine swap here. The Beat 91 brings that in. You can use the Cappuccino, the Copen or the S660. We're using the Copen today, as you can see at the top. And the PP target for this is 400. Now I'd say you use a Cappuccino engine swap, but I can't yet find the key to get that below the 400. So I'm at 404.44 and I need to get it less. We'll get there. Settings for the Copen will be Comfort Softs as per the race regulations. And as we go into the detailed settings, we will be looking at target of a 400 pp. Now you can see we've missed the target here. We can actually mess with this a little bit more to get it close to the 400 pp, but I feel we don't need to. The unusual thing about this car is its drivetrain. It's front wheel drive. Don't see many of those in this game. It's a turbo application and it's got its standard engine. So it's just over 100 brake horsepower. But this setup, you'll wazz it around this track. It's a little bit looser at the back end with what they call lift-off oversteer. It's one of those that with a front-wheel drive car, the back end can follow you around. So I used to own a Fiat, a HGT, and as you went round faster corners and you just eased off to let the car run round them, the back end felt like it was overtaking. This is what this car does, and you just have to learn to drive that, learn to control it and move on. But as I say, you've probably got 2.5 pp there that you can mess with to make it something more than it actually is. So ECU is at normal. We've got a rear spoiler on there. I think it's a mid-level high, rear mid, which will you can then move the setup to where you want on the rear to give you a bit more downforce. That'll probably stop the back end moving. But you've got plenty of room with the PP. No ballast, customizable manual gearbox, speed set to 210. Low RPM turbocharger, which tells you need to change up early in the rev range. Anti-lack is on strong with the racing intercooler. Air, silencer and exhaust manifold all racing. Brake system is on normal with racing brake pads. And then we've got a couple of things installed here. Bore up, stroke up, polish ports. All the weight reductions you can possibly manage, and that's your setup, folks. As I said, you go to Auto Club and you can change your spoiler, your rear wing and your side skirts, but your front spoiler remains the same. You don't need that, remains at default. Settings for today's race will be as follows. So I'm a wheel user, open button configuration, controller sensitivity at 0, and then the bottom 2 are at 5. I'm using a G29. They're just the default setups. I've found you've not needed to do anything. And then for the assists, it is the usual traction control 1, default ABS. I'm using manual transmission. I'm going to use the flappy paddles. And at the end of the day, everything else is off. We'll take it to the track. We'll see you there. Here we go, folks. We're in the front engined, front wheel drive, little Copen. Are going to take this one to the front. We're changing up early. It's only a 3-lapper this one. We've got to really get this one pounding along. Can't get into any tangles or any fights. Actually, don't know whether I should be pushing the RPMs further, but we're doing well, we're doing okay. So front wheel drive car, it's going to pull extremely well out the corners, but we have to be slowed down enough because the front end's going to slide like a greased chip pan on a front room carpet. We're in 12th place. I've just done this with the big 91 engine swap, and I was in first place with a spin before the end of the lap, so it's not really fair to show you that car if you don't have the engine swap. But I do have a video of that car, the engine swap, doing the hour-long challenge at Autopolis. Let's get on the brakes for this corner here. Ooh, back end's coming around, so let's just try and get round without too much sliding. There's no tyre wear in this one, so brake balance might be unnecessary. See if we can get round these corners and get up there. So we're in 8th place now. Making progress. We've got to be really on the case with this race. We've got 3 laps, that's the lot. Got to just slide past the opposition, use the draft where you can, on the brakes, but don't slow too much. You've got to keep the pace going with this front wheel drive car. We've got to keep on it. I actually found this one to be one of the hardest Kei Cup races when I first started. This one used to get me a little bit because I wasn't 100% at one with the car, and now you need to drive it, so that's us into 4th, braking on the 100. We're going to try and really slow down into this corner, get back on the gas, not getting too wide. Draft him. Oh, he's dinked my way. Relatively straightforward, up behind Mr. Praga, take the draft, slip on his inside, don't let him bash you, give him the wall to play with. There we go, heading for the exit from here. We're going to swing the car in nice and wide, no lift, get it through these corners, straight line. It's a beautiful little car, this. Used to front wheel drives, you'll take Natter to this, and the Cappuccino hasn't backed away, he's still coming, Mr. Praga. So down at the chicane, let's see if we can ace this. That's us through there very nicely, and we're going to take the last corner, one king through the start finish line. To the 3rd and final lap. Let's see if we can put in a better lap because it's free air, nobody in front of us now. A 2:09. Let's see what we can do, where we can get a bit on top of all this. Let's push on. A little bit of brake applied there as we entered that corner. We're setting our own personal goals now, things to beat. Changing up nice and early to give that turbo something to play with. If it's got a turbo, he says, knowing that he hasn't done the actual setup review. And we've run it wide, but we'll keep some speed on and we'll try and get around here quicker. No purple sectors, he asks. I don't even know where the actual timing beams are. As I say, I've not actually done a review of the setup. It's set to 400 pp on the auto polish race. If you've not watched that video, we've done a couple. We've done a Copen versus S660, and we're going to use the S660 when we go to... I keep wanting to call it Big... It's called Big Willow, isn't it? That's where the circuit is, but it's not. It's Willow Springs, is it? Oh, my brain's gone dead. Concentrating. Just don't know whether we're going to get that fastest lap. Car goes through there like a train. Not going to lift. No lift. 6 seconds to make it to the line. I think we've blown it, have we? 9 seconds to make it to the line. 6 now. 4. 2097. It looked like it went purple. But I think I could have done a little bit better. But there you have it, folks. Job done. And there we go. Lap 3. It was the fastest lap, but only just 6 seconds ahead of the car in front. This one's not really a challenge once you've got it down. But I hope you enjoyed that, folks. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Oh, check that out. Clean race bonus. Everyone's a winner.